It's been nearly 2 years since the original Fuelcell Rebel launched. Is the latest version worth the wait? Today, let's explore the New Balance Fuelcell Rebel 2. I am beyond excited to talk to you about my experience in the New Balance Fuelcell Rebel version 2. If this is your first time here, my name is Jordan Thomas, and I'm here to help you simplify tech and running to improve your life. If you're short on time, these are the best lightweight running shoe of 2021. Especially, I would recommend this for anyone who's training for more middle distance training. So anything from like the 400-meter hurdles through the 5K. Now you can certainly try these out if you spend more time with the half marathon and marathon. But if you want to hear more about why I feel that strongly about this shoe, let's keep rocking. I've been fortunate to spend over 30 miles in this shoe across 6 different workouts, varying in speed, everything from 100-meter sprints all the way through my long run pace. I want to thank Roadrunner Sports for sending me a pair over 4 tests. And speaking of testing, when I heard that the Rebel V2 was coming out, one of the first things I wanted to know was what ended up happening with the midsole, because I was a big fan of the previous version. The midsole is nothing short of amazing. The combo of a soft and responsive ride is rare, but the Rebel pulls that off. The midsole is made of Fuelcell, and it's also the same foam that you can be found in the latest RC Elite 2. However, you won't find any kind of plate in this shoe, and that's a game changer. When it came to running at 4:45 per mile pace or faster, the shoe left me in awe. Propulsive is the best way to describe how the shoe felt to me. For context, I haven't ran that fast in something other than a racing spike or flat in a number of years, so that was very impressive to me. Straight up, if you're trying to run as fast as you possibly can in order to like reverse time like the Flash, these are the shoe that I would suggest picking up. The long run is where the shoe started to be a little bit less structured because of how soft it is. I found that once I went over an hour in the shoe, I was definitely craving something a bit firmer. However, if you're using this as its ideal case, stick to the faster stuff and you're gonna be money in these. The outsole features New Balance Endurance rubber with lots of exposed foam. The strategic rubber is always clutch, but New Balance takes it a step further and it looks like the foam is cut out where the rubber is placed, which I believe helps with additional weight loss. One note on the overall traction, because this shoe I think is most ideal for faster running, I would stick to running this shoe in smooth surface type of scenarios. So think like the track, the road, areas where you're not gonna be finding yourself like digging into the foam too much. I would not take this on dirt, non-technical trails, or grass. There's just not enough traction, in my opinion. Plus, because of the amount of foam that's in there, I'd be too worried about it getting punctured. And because there's very minimal rubber, I imagine that the rubber is gonna wear down fairly soon. The fit also impressed me, and New Balance helps bust the myth that fast shoes need to be uncomfortable. I went my usual 11.5. I like the overall racing fit, which is gonna be a bit more tailored, a bit more snug. I found that in the toe box area, where I did have a decent amount of room to move my feet around, I was pleased that there wasn't like a whole lot of room, and so it was pretty locked in. The midfoot, definitely very secure, so you'll want to be able to play with those laces. I like that super secure fit. You've got a lay flat tongue. You've got some pretty basic lacing. The star though of the upper to me is this unstructured counter, which gives a great deal of flexibility in terms of being able to get your foot in without having to like flex the shoe too much. It just naturally is already pretty loose. Another nice thing like with that is it helps keep the shoe lightweight. There's also some pretty decent padding around the collar. I kind of went back and forth about whether or not I would want more or less, but I ultimately believe that that was the right amount chosen, which is going to be, because this shoe is a training shoe, then I think it is kind of important to have just a little bit more material there. The other major update was to the upper. This is a significant change from the previous version, getting rid of the jacquard mesh pattern and material and going with the synthetic material. I appreciate how airy the new material is. It's pretty translucent, see-through, all those things that mean that you're gonna have a very minimal weight here. But I gotta be honest, the shoe doesn't look that fast to me. The hologram is a nice touch as well. If you rotate your foot a certain way, sometimes it'll say New Balance, other times it'll say Fuelcell. Although the logo placement was a little weird just in terms of the overall size. And actually, I think that I would have loved to have seen like the overlay that is used on the RC Elite 2, or even something like the racing spikes, because it just helps kind of put you in the mindset that when you're wearing this shoe, you're looking to get to a place of running fast. As a matter of fact, we might as well just jump into like where I would recommend you use these as far as your rotation. This to me is a lightweight trainer. So anytime you're looking to go faster and be light on your feet, this is a shoe that you pick up. I don't think this is training shoe number 1. I think it's definitely like training shoe number 2 in your rotation. And that by pairing it with like a 1080 V11 or If I'm in high school, I'm having this and a track spike, and I'm just going to have to deal with it, especially if you're like a 400-meter hurdler or 800-meter runner, or even somebody just like getting ready for 5Ks. As I mentioned, because the longer run in this shoe does start to present some issue in terms of just like wanting some additional structure, that's the only reason that keeps it from being just a pure like daily trainer number one for me. One other quick note on durability. I didn't mention that throughout the review because it's just not as important in this shoe, but I would imagine this is going to be around kind of like the 250, close to 300 mark, which is another signal to me that this is not the general purpose running shoe that my number one shoe would sit in terms of my overall usage. Plus the other thing is, when I think about like percentages in terms of how much I'm gonna use this, I'm probably gonna use this probably like 20 to 30% of my runs for the week. I got another like 50 to 60 in terms of my daily trainer, and then somewhere around like 10% for my long run shoe. After waiting for nearly 2 years, the Fuelcell Rebel 2 picks up right where the previous version left off, providing a lightweight and fast experience that is second to none. One thing I am curious about though, like, do you prefer like minor updates each year, or would you rather a shoe company just take a break and then only come back out when they have something major? I thought it was interesting that New Balance decided to not do a V2 sooner and just overhauled the shoe pretty much entirely in those 2 years. So let me know. It kind of reminds me of like certain artists that I like. Well, there's some people that I definitely want to hear an album every year, but there's other people that I can go a couple of years because the previous version was so good. So let me know what camp you fall into. Also, I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Like, I never really planned for this channel to grow to this size. As a matter of fact, one of my only goals was to have 100 subscribers so that I could get to a place where I could use my full name on a YouTube channel. I thought it was a really cool way to be able to exercise my creativity. At the point in time that I made the video, I was in a very like super excited place in my life. I still am, but that particular moment in time, I just started a job. I got with my then fiance, who is now my wife, and I just wanted to have a place to like make things and kind of do something that was a little bit different than my day-to-day work. And so the fact that it's grown to this point is amazing to me. The fact that 5,000 of you show up from day to day on different videos is a cool thing. And I'll continue making these type of videos and other things. I have some additional ideas that I want to test out and try out. But I think it's cool that you show up. I recognize, particularly when it comes to like the running reviews, there's not that many people that sound like me or look like me when it comes to this. And so I think that it's cool that you find some value in what it is that I'm doing. And I want to continue to be a voice that you come to when it comes to running and tech. So I'll see you next time. Jordan Thomas, peace.